Welcome to the DPI Islandora workshop. My name is Mona Ilayan and I will be presenting this introductory session for you. I always like to go through the learning objectives before we start working with Islandora, so let me quickly go over them with you. I would like for everybody here to leave with an understanding of what Islandora is, its core technologies and architecture. Use its online sandbox to create a collection, ingest an object or batch objects, and delete content. Finally, we'll take a quick look at Islandora Virtual Machine. Okay, so what is Islandora? Islandora is an open source software framework developed by the University of Prince Edward Island's Robertson Library in 2006. It is built on a Drupal, Fedora, and Solr technology. Islandora was designed to assist institutions, organizations, and users to manage digital assets. The bulk of its users are libraries. Others are museums, archives, and private companies. Because Islandora offers solution packs that allow users to work with images, videos, and PDFs, it provides a robust environment for those looking to preserve or create online digital collections. As mentioned earlier, Islandora uses three core technologies: Fedora Commons repository software, Drupal, and Solr. Here's a quick look at the technology architecture before we look at each piece separately. Fedora was originally developed at Cornell University as an open-source digital object repository system with a robust approach to preservation of online digital collections. Fedora Commons is used in the backend and it operates as the heart of Islandora's data stewardship. Since it has a unique content and relationship modeling framework, it preserves the integrity of the collections and can be modified to manage almost any digital assets. It is in Fedora that data, metadata, content models, and security policies are stored. And here's an image of the Fedora architecture. Drupal is a very popular open-source content management system that understands Islandora's suite of modules. It represents the front end of Islandora because it can create a dynamic user interface, or let's say Islandora web pages. It arranges its content and offers a number of customizable themes. The modules that come with Drupal, or that are available and customizable, complement Islandora's functionality. Solr offers a fast way of searching the Fedora database and is considered an important application in Islandora. It can run keyword and full-text searches. For advanced search functions, it has refined search capabilities that allow it to access the Fedora database and returns results quickly. It's one of the main processes that help engage users in perusing digital collections and exploring the digital assets. Islandora is considered the integration layer. It's the one that utilizes Fedora Commons digital repository databases and the Drupal interface. It offers flexibility of using Drupal with its dynamic content creation, collaboration, and social networking, while relying on the robust storage system of Fedora Commons. Islandora relies on XML schema for automating and translating metadata. The solution packs provide the functionality necessary to ingest, organize, then display the digital assets in Fedora Commons using the Drupal interface. Solution packs are customizable so as to meet the needs of an institution or organizational collection or repository. They can also be used out of the box to begin creating collections. Like Drupal modules, Islandora solution packs also need to be installed and configured to operate smoothly. They often rely on additional applications, and those need to be installed as well and configured. An example of some of the functionalities that Islandora solution packs offer are audio solution packs, basic solution packs, basic image solution packs, etc. You can access these and more from the release notes and download site that I have provided down here. Just to give you an overview of how the architecture looks again when it's put together, you have Fedora at the bottom managing the database, Drupal at the top taking care of the interface, and Islandora in the middle. There is an increasing production of digitally born items and massive desire to preserve information through digitization, and it has been challenging for a while to find secure, long-term preservation and quick access to digital assets. What Islandora offers is, for example, stewardship. Islandora allows users to manage and store their digital assets securely, with long-term preservation in mind. It also allows collaboration. It provides the tools and interface that facilitates collaboration and community engagement with digital collections. It enables communities to work together to create, edit, review, and catalog information assets. It also provides access. Islandora's commitment to open standards and information sharing and retrieval are components that impact its optimized retrieval methods. Its digital assets are cataloged and stored in an optimized way to facilitate access. In addition, Solar plays an important role in searching and acquiring data quicker. Islandora is also flexible because it's open source. Its core is transparent and customizable to institutional needs. Here is a sample of some sites that use Islandora to preserve and organize their collections. So U of T has a heritage site. The University of Prince Edward Island uses it for their island archives. McMaster uses it to display its special collections, and so on. I've added the links to these websites if you would like to access them and peruse them later. Before we get started on some exercises in Islandora, I want to quickly give you a brief explanation of how Islandora understands content. Since Islandora uses Fedora Commons digital object model, relationships, and content model architecture, Islandora interprets everything in its repository as an object. Objects are made up of data streams. Think of data streams as files, and these objects are connected to each other through relationships. The relationship between two objects is stored in a data stream file, and each object has a unique identifier in the repository, so it can be identified and accessed when needed. The Islandora Sandbox is the most recent online installation of Islandora, and it's updated nightly with new code. Since Islandora is a server-based application, the Sandbox offers users a great place to play around with the Islandora features without committing to a server install. The projects created in the Sandbox are not retained, because as the site is updated, it is also refreshed, and all projects are lost. So go ahead and explore the basic Islandora features with the most recent solution pack releases and full administrative privileges. To access the Islandora Sandbox, you need to visit sandbox.islandora.ca and use the following credentials. For the username, type in admin. For the password, type in Islandora. Go ahead and log in. What are we going to do now? Well, we're going to explore the collections installed as part of the solution pack. We're going to create and manage a new collection. We're going to do that by adding new items to a digital collection, editing the object metadata. We're going to learn how to batch ingest files, and then we're going to delete an object or multiple objects. Once you've logged in, you will see an administrative bar at the top of the screen that is similar to a Drupal site. You have the administrative functions listed: Home, Structure, Configuration, and Help menu on the far left, and on the right you have the welcome message, Hello, and Logout. Home directs you to the landing page. Structure is where you can create blocks, menus, taxonomies, and views. Configuration is where you can modify the search settings and other indexing options. You can also control the interface and how the modules appear on the page. Help offers additional documentation and links to other help topics. The Hello strips the page down. The administrator here can easily locate different features and menu options. The Logout helps you log out of the session. The navigation block lists the options available, such as adding content, importing entities, etc. Let's browse collections available in Islandora. So under the navigation block, select Islandora repositories. This view gives you the top level or root view of the types of collections available. These were installed using solution packs. You have a folder for audio collections, image collections, book collections. They're in grid view at the moment, but if you click list view, you can change the way the collections are displayed. All objects in Islandora need to be placed in collections. A collection has a collection content model that defines what type of objects can be placed within it. Collections are defined by a single content type, for example, image, audio, book, etc. This helps organize the repository. Let's go ahead and click on Audio Collection. This will display the object page. You'll see a View tab, a Manage tab, a couple of sample audios, and buttons to change from grid view to list view. If you click one of the audios, it will direct you to a screen that allows you to play the audio. The tabs above give you the option to manage this collection. This tab is on every object page, and it's your way to editing object-specific details. It also allows you to import or share objects as well. The mark XML also displays the metadata. You have the option of downloading the XML file too. The details link provides metadata in a format that is humanly legible. In Islandora, if you create a collection within another collection, the new collection is called a child collection. You can also create sub-collections, just as you would create folders and subfolders. In Islandora, a child collection can have more than one parent collection. To create a new collection, first click on the Islandora repository link in the navigation block. Click Manage tab, then click the Collection button. You will be redirected to the collection management page. Click Add an object to this collection. This will direct you to a form to create your new collection. Fill out the collection PID, persistent identifier, to identify the collection in the database. Every object in a Fedora repository has a unique persistent identifier of the format namespace : ID. This identifier is assigned when the object is created and cannot be changed. An inherent collection policy determines what types of files can be ingested in this collection. You can uncheck that box and ignore the rest of the fields below. When you uncheck the box, you now have the option to choose the type of collection model you will like to use. For example, let's check the Islandora Basic Image Content Model. You can choose to inherit the policy from other collections using the drop-down menu, but let's not do that for now. Then click Next. If you have a mark XML file, you can upload it in the next screen. Otherwise, just click Next to create the metadata from scratch. Fill out the content model. This model depends on the content model used. In this case, we used images. Fill out whatever you can, then click Ingest. Now let's add some content to our collection. To add content, select the digital collection you would like to add content objects to, then click Manage. Click the Collections button, then click the plus Add an object to this collection. If you have a mark XML file containing metadata regarding this image, you can upload it here. Otherwise, just click Next. This brings you to the object's metadata form. The only required field is the title, but you could follow your organization's best practices to fill out the metadata form. Then click Next, click Choose File, locate the file on your personal computer, then click Ingest. If you decide you would like to edit the image metadata, you need to locate the object's metadata in its data streams. Click on the image you want to modify, select the Manage tab, click the Data Streams button at the top, then click Edit on the Mods line. This takes you back to your metadata form. Once you're done, make sure to click Update. Nothing is saved automatically. To batch ingest files, you need to click Manage, select the collection, then click Batch Import Objects. In the Importer drop-down menu, select Zip File Importer. Then click Next. Choose the file. Click Upload. Select the correct content model, then click Import. It should work, but the Sandbox seems to give an AJAX error for now. To delete or purge an object or multiple objects in Islandora. Well, Islandora does not have a trash bin, and once you delete something, it is permanently gone. There is no way to undo that action. So the steps to take to delete an item are the following. Click the Manage tab for the item or object that you want to delete. Click the Properties button, then click Permanently Remove, and the name of your object will appear here, from Repository. Islandora will ask you to confirm by clicking Delete in the next window. How to install the virtual machine. If you want to play more and explore Islandora with more flexibility than the online Sandbox allows, you can always download the virtual machine. The best way to run the virtual machine is to run it with the VirtualBox, which is a robust, open source, and free software. First install the VirtualBox, then download the virtual machine image. Remember, this is a good way to get Islandora up and running, but only for test purposes, not for public consumption. Islandora is a server, not a desktop application. It requires other applications to run, like PHP, MySQL database, Apache web server. It's not practical to run it off your personal desktop. I provided some links to the virtual machine guides available on the Islandora website. There are instructions and information for OS X and Windows machines. Islandora software is developed and maintained by a dedicated group of developers, system administrators, and librarians. It undergoes constant improvements and adds new features every day. To get in touch with or learn more about Islandora, its features, and its community, you can use the following resource links below. This was sponsored by the University of Toronto Scarborough and its library, Ryerson University, Brock University, and this research was supported by the Social Science and Humanities Research Council of Canada. A special thanks goes to Ryerson for hosting Day 3 of the conference, Center for Digital Humanities, Ryerson University Library and Archives, the Director of E-Learning, the Learning and Teaching Office, the Office of the Dean, Faculty of Arts, the Department of English and its MA Literatures of Modernity program, and the Master of Digital Media program for donations of financial support. The Dean of Faculty of Humanities, Brock University, for a contribution of financial support towards the conference, as well as contributing to planning. Victoria Owen, Chief Librarian at the University of Toronto Scarborough, for her generous financial support and staff resources. Shirk Connections grant, without which none of the wonderful research and discussions generated here would be possible.